You're listening to the Small Business Marketing Show, the place for dramatically different marketing ideas that get dramatic results. Now, here's your host, Steve Gordon.
Hi, this is Steve Gordon. Have you ever experienced a dip in your business? In my work as a small business marketing consultant, I see businesses in every stage of growth and decline. Most come to me when they need to improve sales or get more clients in the door, and often they're going through what author Seth Godin calls the dip. In his book of the same title, Godin describes the decision of perseverance versus strategic quitting. From my own experience, it's one of the most difficult decisions that you and I as business leaders ever make. It presents itself as an obstacle or series of obstacles. You as the leader must decide if you can and should persevere or if the strategic victory is to retreat. With all of the new businesses starting as we work out of the recession over the last 4 years, it's an especially relevant question. According to Godin, when you face an obstacle, you've got to figure out which of these three patterns it fits. Number one, is it a cul-de-sac? This is a dead end, and it's time to cut your losses and strategically quit. I'll tell you from my own experience, this is probably the hardest of all decisions to make. We're taught from an early age to never quit, to keep trying, but sometimes you need to know when to retreat and fight another day. Number two, is it a cliff? Are you about to go over the falls? Cliffs are deceptive. You think you can reverse course anytime, then you hit the edge and fall off. Or number three, is it a dip? The dip is something that every business owner and sales professional faces. It's the lull in sales, it's that drop in profitability, or sometimes the challenge of finding the right people and changing the people for your team. Now, knowing when to quit is a key skill to develop. We're not kids anymore. As leaders, we're called on to know when to quit. One of the best lessons I learned early in my career was the idea of sunk costs. Yes, it hurts to walk away from significant time and financial investments. You risk not only the resources that you put in, you risk your ego, and for some of us, frankly, that's more valuable than money and much harder to expose. Understanding when to strategically quit is one of the most valuable skills you can build as an entrepreneur. You never have all of the information to determine with certainty which situation you're in when you hit an obstacle. Is it a cul-de-sac, a cliff, or a dip? You've got to develop your intuition over time to allow you to discern which path you're on. And the truth is, you're going to misjudge sometimes. It's okay, you learn, you move forward. The cul-de-sac and the cliff lead to failure, but the dip is your friend. My friend and mentor Robert Skrobe likes to say, success does not lie in the absence of obstacles, it is in overcoming the obstacles you face. Most people hit an obstacle and quit. You've got to decide if the obstacle is a cliff, a cul-de-sac, or a dip. If it's a dip, stop for a minute, smile to yourself. You now have the advantage. Most of your competitors will quit. In fact, pray for a steep dip with a tough climb coming out. When you make it out, you may be all alone with no competition. Anything worth doing, anything valuable has a steep dip. If it were easy, everybody'd do it. Creating a marketing dip for your competition is a powerful strategy. The first dip that nearly every company hits in its development is a marketing dip. You got to push through it to attract enough clients to bring life to the company and fuel growth. Most new businesses don't have enough capital to persevere through this dip, and they fail within a year or two. The businesses that make it typically do so without any systematic way to get more clients. They scratch and claw and get through, but they never really build an engine to get clients on a consistent basis. Those that do have a huge advantage. Those that do dominate a market. Those that do build an ever steeper dip in their wake for the competitors that follow them. For most of us, what we do isn't all that different from any of our competitors. Our best, most effective way to differentiate is through marketing. Not just the brochure you hand out or your website, but the feel of the whole process of working with you. Winning with marketing is far easier and less costly than innovating your product or service. It's far less risky. All right, here's your homework. Step number one, look at the obstacles that you face and decide where you are. Are you in a cul-de-sac, a cliff, or a dip? The decision is the tough part. You got to use your brain and use your guts. Think it through, but don't overanalyze. Make a decision about where you are and then act. Step two, make a plan of action. If you're in a cul-de-sac or a cliff, figure out how to strategically quit, retreat, and find another path. If you're in a dip, lean into it. This is where you use your brain to beat the dip by being resourceful and preparing yourself for the tough road ahead. Dips are always easier if you know you're in one and you have a plan to get through. Step three, Don't go through the dip alone. Pushing through one or more tough obstacles on the way to your goals can be really draining. It's natural to question your assessment of the situation. Go get a mentor, a coach, or a friend to give you outside perspective and to keep you focused on the goal, especially when you get knocked down. If you're in a dip in your business and are unsure of what to do next, I've created the Get More Clients system to help provide you the support you need to, number one, identify where you are, 2, make a plan to get the clients you need to reach your goal, 3, to be accountable and stick to your plan. To learn more about the system, send an email to info@stevegordonmarketing.com to schedule a Get Acquainted telephone session. You can find more information at www.stevegordonmarketing.com. I hope this week's tip has helped you. Until next week, I'm Steve Gordon for the Small Business Marketing Show.
You've been listening to Master Marketer Steve Gordon. Steve invites you to discover his most popular marketing report ever, The 7 Deadly Marketing Sins That Will Kill Your Business. Visit 1000smallbusinesses.com/free gift and sign up to get instant access to this valuable resource. Go now to 1000smallbusinesses.com/free gift to claim your copy today.